Good morning, everyone. Happy energy reading. I'm Terry. It's so great to see you. We've got a weekend reading coming up today, don't we? Yes, right? So I'll just go ahead, pick out some cards here to take an energetic temperature check to see what the potentials and possibilities of this weekend are going to be like and what the implementation tools would be so that we can navigate our way through this human experience a lot better, a lot more comfortable, and just to kind of see what might be up in quarantine. Yes. Just remember, this is a reading for the collective, which means not all this information is going to resonate with everyone. So just take what does, toss what doesn't. And if you would like something more personal, more private, we don't have much longer left, but until April 30th, which might be about another 2 weeks or so, I am running a special 50% off the regular rate of a 45-minute reading, either online or via phone. So make sure you get on that. You don't need a special code. It's just automatically done for you. So go ahead and book that 45-minute online or phone reading until April 30th. That's when the rates will go back up. All right, one last thing. Just know nothing I say is ever set in stone here. You have your God-given gift of free will and choice, and those choices and decisions are what actually creates your reality. So let's take a little look-see here and do a reveal. Upside down, we have El Arpa, the Joker, truth and integrity, and two of air. So this is what we're dealing with this weekend. Two of air, El Arpa, truth and integrity, and the Joker. Okay, let's take a little look here and see what this weekend is going to bring us. Where do I feel like I want to start? I feel like I want to start with two of air, and I feel like I need to move my body. With the two of air, what I feel like for this weekend is I do feel like there is a shift or a, but it does feel more fluid and lucid, more realistic. I guess that would be like the whole truth and integrity thing. More realistic moves towards the physical body. So I need to look into that more because that's a bit vague. It feels like the fluidity of water is how a lot of us are being. So this is actually very positive. Woohoo! A lot of us are starting to understand how this is starting to work and what the deeper issues are underneath just this whole quarantine and isolation purpose, like why we're doing it. People are starting to become more fluid, more accepting. And it's interesting because this is on the collective, but it's also like on an individual basis. And this is not necessarily going to be heard by the media. So that this is more on the down low, and not even so much the down low, more of like the personal aspect of the collective. So I am still talking about the collective, but this is within the personalness of the collective. Okay. And what's showing up for me is that people are starting to understand this process and they're going along with it more. And they are starting to find, and you're probably one of these people that are starting to find your rhythm with this, right? You are starting to find your flow. And within that flow, there is a sense of freedom. So it's almost like we have these restrictions, right? But within these restrictions here, which I have two hands, if I had another hand, I could show you differently. But within those boundaries, within those restrictions is freedom to do whatever you want within those boundaries, right? So to me, what it's starting to feel is that people's perceptions, their mindset is starting to shift and change in a bigger level of understanding that within these restrictions, there is actual freedom. Okay. And people are starting to, and it's just a feeling. It's not like people are actually moving their bodies, but it's like people are starting to get acclimated into this dimension of restriction, let's say. And with that does come that sense of freedom. And people are starting to really look into what their truth is. So this weekend, okay, so here's what I have to say. Well, I mean, I have to say a lot, but what's interesting about this weekend, and I'm trying to put this into human words because I'm very clairsentient. I get my information first very with my senses and feelings, so it's hard to kind of put words to it. What I'm trying to say is that there's this feeling that people who before were not getting it, and I know that's so kind of harsh to say, but they're starting to understand the truth of themselves. So people are starting to go in deeper. And I know, like, you know, that's very general and vague, and that's been the consistent message this whole time, but it's happening on a bigger level now. People are starting to relinquish ego, and it's not so much relinquish ego, because we'll never get rid of the ego as long as we're in earth suits, right? But it is more about the integration and understanding that the ego is what's keeping us from really settling into all of these things. It's fear. So what's happening is it feels like this weekend, a lot of the fear is starting to be integrated. People are recalibrating, like a GPS system, they're course correcting, right? And I feel that it's happening through their body. So a lot of people are going to just feel safer this weekend, calmer this weekend. And it's not for those of you who've already been there, done that. Those of you who've already been there, done that, who are already at that place, like, I'm totally enjoying this period of history. Like, I can settle into it. I can lean into it and relax into it. You will feel a shift from the collective. So you will feel lighter this weekend. Everybody's going to feel lighter this weekend. And what I mean by lighter is less dense, less heavy, less sunken, less sullen. We're gonna see people being able to have more fun this weekend, even though a lot of us are coming to our own truths, okay? But there's a release. So there's some sort of dispersion or release of pent-up energy on the collective. We've all been pretty much, the way energy works is that once it's created, first of all, it never goes away. It can either be dispersed or redirected. Well, there's no redirection going on right now whatsoever because we're so sequestered and everything is shut down. So it's not like we can redirect, which is actually good, because with redirection, you can actually bypass. Well, there's no bypassing here this weekend. None at all. And so that's a dispersion, a breakage of energy. And when that happens, there's a huge release. And oftentimes releasing can show up in laughter. So it does feel like this weekend people will be sillier, more playful, laughing more as a way of the collective breaking and dispersing this energy accumulation bubble that's happened. Right? So this is all really good. I would love to suggest you do what you want. I will make any suggestions. Ultimately, you make your own choices and decisions. This weekend, focusing and strictly watching comedies. I know a lot of, someone's at the door, so you get to hear the zoo. There are a lot of comics that are doing online shows. Get yourself to one of those. For some reason, baking cook-offs or cooking shows are also come to me, where people can really, Bonzo, shh, mama's doing readings, please. Yeah, right, like that's gonna work. You know, like, these cooking shows, for competitions, fun competitions, not like mean competitions, but fun competitions. And it does, now the cockatoo's going, and it does just feel like that's what's going to help people alleviate and just feel lighter. So get into that. Okay, you guys, get into cooking shows, get into comedy shows, get into, just a lot of fun laughter this weekend. You will feel it. You will really feel it in your body and how good it feels. So I feel like this weekend may be a turning point for the majority of the people. We're not going to hear about this. We're not going to hear about this. But if you talk to other people, you're going to hear about it through other people. So this is not through mass media that you're going to hear this. You're getting to the truth and then the integrity of the situation and of yourself. Okay, so there's a bit of a gift this weekend, which is really good. Yes, in the media, you're still going to hear bullshit. You're going to hear negativity. Of course you are. You always will. That's just what the media is here for. But I will tell you that there is a breakage of this accumulation of fear, anxiety, panic. Well, the panic has been kind of broken for a while, but the fear and the anxiety, and it should be shifting into laughter. So you'll feel it in your body. So enjoy it in your body. And what am I always saying to you? Stay connected. Stay connected to your family and friends. Stay connected to yourself. And of course, you can stay connected to me by checking me out at terryhuberman.com. And I'll see ya on the flip side.